In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to automate your sales process for lawn care companies, and I'm going to walk you through step by step on different ways that we've automated this for businesses that we work with. We work with lawn care companies to help them increase their sales and keep their schedules full, and in this video, I'm just going to show you some of the strategies that we utilize. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I would recommend doing is figuring out what CRM that you're using and how you can automate it. So I'm actually going to start with Zapier because Zapier allows you to set up automations with things, and then I'm going to walk you through some examples of ways that we set this up. So if you're using like Jobber, Service Autopilot, Service Titan, House Call Pro, whatever you're using, a lot of these ones, they'll have automations automatically built in. So typically what we've seen is you can, on your website, you can use what's called Gravity Forms. It's a free form builder on your website. So you could build a form like this, like an instant quote. You can also build like a basic contact form to get a free estimate, and you can ask them some qualifying questions. And then what you do is over here, you can set up a form. And you can have this form either go into, if you use Jobber, House Call Pro, whatever, you can have it go into that. So let's just add a step in here for Jobber or whichever one that you use. And so ideally for the Jobber one, you can have it create a request. You can have it create a quote, whatever you want it to do. And you can also have it kick out to a MailChimp. So the first thing to do is to come up with your tech stack is what you would want to call it. Gravity form from your website into your CRM, and then out to some other platform, whether it's MailChimp. There's a million other platforms, but MailChimp is the one that connects with Jobber, and a lot of people would have this. So what this is going to allow you to do is once a lead comes through, then you can automate your follow-up process. So this is a standard funnel right here. Someone contacts your business, then you want them to schedule an appointment with you, or maybe you don't need an appointment if you're just selling service contracts or basic things, and maybe you just want them to sign an estimate and then you want to get them to a sale. So ideally, when you're looking at your automation sequence, you want to build an automation to here, then an automation to here, then an automation to here. So I'll walk you through how this might look for this company, for example. I'll give you the example. All right, so they go here, someone fills out the name, email address, phone number. They also select the type of service that they want. Let's say it's mosquito control. Let's say it's 1,500 square feet, and they put their zip code in, they click get estimate. Now what happens is when they select these qualifiers, it's going to put them into a specific campaign. We don't use MailChimp, but I'm just using that as an example because it's pretty readily available if you're going to try to do this yourself. And what's going to happen is if someone selects mosquito control 1,500 square feet, it's going to put them into their Jobber account. It's going to put them into MailChimp. And the first thing it's going to say is for that number of square footage and also for the service that you selected, a rough estimate is going to be X, Y, and Z. And then it's going to have a call to action. And that call to action is going to say, did you want to schedule an appointment for an expert to come out and take a look? If you do that, if not, it's going to say, would you like us to send you a customized estimate for your property? What's the address? Or you might just take them to a sales page that says, hey, sign up right here. And it's just a standard flat price. And so inside of here, what you want to do, they fill out this form, then they get the estimate. And I'll show you an example if there's not an estimate calculator. Then you want them to go through this sequence quickly. Now, you might say, okay, they turn into a lead. I want to schedule an appointment to go out there. Well, you send them the first email, then you want to wait maybe a day or two, and you want to follow up with them. Here's a really good sales cycle that we found to work pretty effectively. The lead comes in. You want to try to call them in the first 5 minutes. So they get that automation, that email automation back, call them in the first 5 minutes. If they answer, then you want to qualify them. Are they in your geographical area? Is the yard big enough for the space that they're looking? Are they within your budget? You want to try to have some qualifiers in there that says, yes, this is a good person, or no, it's not, and then they're out. Let's say that they don't answer. Ideally, you want to call them back again, because if they just filled out this form, then they probably want to talk with you. So that's why you want to try to call them in 5 minutes, and you want to try to call them back one more time. Let's say that they don't answer and they leave a voicemail. Then definitely leave a voicemail, but you want to add them into some power dialer or SMS, some type of follow-up sequence. Ideally, we would use SMS. That's what we use, but there's not really a off-the-shelf SMS provider aside from like Chirp or Hatch or these other ones, but it takes a little bit more customization to fill it, to build it. So you could use MailChimp for that sequence, or you could build it out in your own thing, but you want to have some type of an automated system to follow up to pull them through this sequence. Now, once that happens, then let's say that they finally respond. Then you go back here and you qualify them. If they're qualified, you either move them to unqualified or you book the appointment. And this is that schedule the appointment stage. And then again, you go to the automated reminder sequence, add value campaign, and you want to get them to show up. So same thing, you want to get them to the next appointment. And then Once they get there, let's say that they cancel, you got to move them back over here to follow-up sequence. But let's say that then you go to the estimate. Same thing. Now you need to follow up with your estimate to get through the sale. So you can build these automation cycles to happen inside of MailChimp or inside of other platforms, but this is the framework that you want to have for your business. Now, this can seem very time consuming and a lot of work upfront, but once you get it set up, it can pretty much run for you, and you can have a CSR or someone kind of manage your sales cycle automation. So this is a really good way to do it. Now let's go back here and look at if it's just a simple contact form. So their contact form has some qualifiers in here too, but you can do the exact same thing if they were to come through as a contact form. Let's say they just said, hey, I want some more information. They could go into a MailChimp. Then every single call to action could say schedule an appointment. Then once they schedule an appointment, then you have a follow-up sequence that gets them to the estimate. Then the estimate gets them to a sale. And these are the 4 stages that you need to build out these automations for. So that's really it. When you look at the automation sequence, these are the 4 steps. You build an automation funnel in here. Oh, okay. Let's give you like 5 or 6 things that you can talk about. So over here, adding value to the campaign. So maybe you talk about your team. So you share some pictures of your team. You can cross-sell some other services. So like, hey, did you know we do this? Did you know we do that? You can also highlight relevant case studies or recent reviews that you received. That's a really good one. Telling them about your specific services, what makes you different, having a clear call to action, asking and answering any frequently asked questions. Ideally, you would want to share some videos in there. But the frequently asked questions works really good. If you were to build a list of like 5 frequently asked questions and then make content about that and then put them in an email sequence, a lot of times you're going to be answering their questions and then have a call to action to schedule the appointment. That will get people through the cycle really good. So yeah, when we look at automation sequences to automate the sales process, that's the front end of it. Let's talk about this back end over here from a retargeting perspective. So when we look at retargeting, people come through this funnel, whether they actually end up getting to a sale or not, they might leak out of the funnel because it's not the right fit or the right time. This retargeting side of things, this is another sequence that you can build for the automation process. So once they either get through the sale or leak out, you can put a 6-month time window or 9-month or a year or whatever time period that you want. Ideally, what we would do is we would put them into a bucket for a monthly newsletter. So we'd send them something monthly. And then within 6 months or a year, we have some type of a follow-up automation if it's time sensitive. So let's say lawn care, it's springtime, here's what you should be doing. It's summer, here's what you should be doing. It's fall, here's what you should be doing. And it's winter, here's what you should be doing. And basically you're touching them, quarterly with here's what you should be doing, call to actions to bring them back into the funnel. And these are for people maybe that leaked out. For actual customers that have come through your funnel, maybe they just go into your monthly newsletter. And again, these could be automated. You could build out 12 monthly newsletters that go out every single month. And then once you have them set up, then each month, maybe you just spend 20, 30 minutes just tweaking them a little bit, adding things here, adding more relevant content. You don't want to send the same thing out every single January, but you could have the bones set up so that way every January something similar goes out. And then you have this retargeting and have them come through. Now, this is the real crux to the entire equation, is that once you get this circle right here spinning, this is basically a snowball for your business. So once you automate this process and then automate this process, the snowball starts to spin. And once the snowball starts spinning, or let's pretend this is like a fire or something, when you add more snow or gasoline, this right here, the snowball keeps spinning faster and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger while you start layering new customers in, and this funnel keeps running. And that's the goal. And that's how you grow your business, especially with these service businesses that have things going over and over. So I hope this video was helpful about automating your sales process, from getting them through your funnel to retargeting past prospects and customers to come back into the funnel. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. We do this for lawn care companies. Like, we literally build these automation sequences, and it's a done for you model. So you don't have to do it or figure it out. If that's something that you're interested, I'll put a link down below. You can set up a free marketing audit. We go through and we actually come up with a game plan for your business. You could set that up. It's totally free. If not, it's all good. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.